Here's the thing. Most people don't have a strategy problem. They have a clutter problem. Their screens are full, their desks are full, their calendars are full, their minds are full. And under the pile, the work that actually matters is suffocating. I've been there. I've watched brilliant people drown in their own to-do lists. I've watched companies ship complexity because they were afraid to make a decision. When you're overwhelmed, you reach for more tools, more hacks, more features. But it turns out the answer is almost always less. When I dropped out of Reed College, I didn't suddenly become smarter. I became lighter. I stopped paying for classes I wasn't interested in and started auditing the ones that fed my curiosity. Calligraphy looked ridiculous on paper, but it taught me the difference between sloppy and elegant, between noise and proportion, between something that merely works and something that feels inevitable. That class gave me taste and eye for what to remove. That eye became a compass. Years later, when I was fired from Apple, a company I co-founded, people thought it was the end of the story. It wasn't. It was a forced simplification. I went from a public circus to a blank studio. And in that silence, I rediscovered why I cared in the first place. Not for titles, not for head count, but for building tools that make humans more powerful. Getting fired cut the clutter from my identity. It hurt. It also made me dangerous again. Simplicity isn't cosmetic. It's not minimalist decor thrown over a messy idea. Simplicity is the hard, daily act of stripping away the almost right to reveal the right. It is an act of courage. When you say no to a feature, a task, a meeting, you feel the fear of missing out. But most of what you fear missing is noise. Your life is full of opportunities to be average. Your job is to identify the few opportunities to be insanely great and remove everything that competes with them. You might think complexity signals intelligence. It doesn't. Complexity signals a lack of clarity. The smartest people I worked with could explain the essence of what we were doing in one sentence a teenager could understand. Why does this exist? Who is it for? What is the promise? If you can't answer those before lunch, lunch will answer them for you with distraction. So let's be honest. You're overwhelmed by clutter and endless to-do lists because you're postponing the decision to decide. You've got a museum of half-finished priorities. You've got more notifications than convictions. I'm inviting you to a different way. 30 days of radical simplicity. Not monk on a mountain fantasy. Practical, ruthless, effective. You will cut the noise, prioritize the essentials, refine the design, and repeat daily. And at the end, you won't just have fewer things, you'll have more signal. You'll have a life that points somewhere, the ultimate. Sophistication. There's a line we used early at Apple. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. People nod at it like it's a poster on a dorm wall. But for me, it was a demand. It said, you don't get to hide behind complexity. If the product is truly thoughtful, you can state its purpose simply. If your plan is truly sound, you can explain it quickly. The elegance on the surface is a moral debt paid by the sweat underneath. Simplicity is earned. You earn it by understanding the user more deeply than they understand themselves. You earn it by making choices others are too timid to make. You earn it by saying no to 1,000 things and meaning it. Focus isn't about doing more with better time management. Focus is about deciding what not to do so violently that what remains has room to breathe. I've watched teams confuse more with better. They add features and believe they've added value. They add meetings and believe they've added alignment. They add dashboards and believe they've added insight. But every addition is a hidden subtraction. Every new knob competes for attention with the knob that matters. Every new goal drains belief from the goal that could have changed everything. Your time is limited. That's not a motivational slogan. It's physics. Remembering that I will die soon has been the most practical tool I've had for making big choices. Almost everything, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure falls away in the face of that fact, leaving only what is truly important. Death is the ultimate editor. Simplicity is how you collaborate with it while you're alive. Ask yourself, if I had 90 days to prove this work matters, what would I ship? If 1,000,000 people were forced to use my product for 3 minutes, what would I want them to feel? Those questions are scissors. They cut through the warm blanket of complexity you've been hiding under. They expose the nerve of the idea. If the idea has no nerve, if there's no pain you're healing, no delight you're delivering, stop decorating it and start over. Simplicity also respects taste. Taste is not elitism. Taste is empathy. It is the discipline of making the thing fit the human, not the human fit the thing. When you get taste right, complexity collapses. The right font weight, the right spacing, the right word, these are not trivial. They are decisions that reduce friction so the user can be fully human again, not a systems integrator for your app. Listen, sophisticated simplicity is not sterile. It is not cold. It has heart. It's the feeling you get when a product meets you where you are and then quietly elevates you. It's the feeling you get when a schedule aligns with your priorities instead of bullying them. It's the feeling you get when your desk has only what you need to make something wonderful. That feeling is not an accident. It's design. The 4 rules of radical simplicity I'm not interested in. Motivational wallpaper. You don't need slogans. You need rules you can live by for the next 30 days. So here is the framework. 4 rules. Cut noise, prioritize essentials, refine design. Repeat daily. If you run this playbook, your life will get lighter and your work will get sharper fast. Rule 1, cut noise. Noise steals more life than failure. Failure teaches, noise numbs. The first rule is an edit. Start with your inputs. For 30 days, your phone sleeps outside your bedroom. Notifications, off by default. Your email, you'll check it in 2 windows, late morning and late afternoon after you've shipped something that matters. News, 1 high-quality summary a day, not a rolling panic attack. Social, off your home screen. If you need it for work, schedule it like a meeting. You do not snack on information anymore. Cut noise in your environment. Clear your desk until it's embarrassingly empty. Computer, notebook, pen, water. If an object doesn't help you create or decide, it's theater. Remove it. Your calendar, audit it with a chainsaw and a smile. For each recurring meeting, ask, what decision does this meeting produce? If the answer is none, cancel it or turn it into a memo. You're buying back hours with a single courageous email. Cut noise in your language. Replace jargon with human words. Synergy, leverage, alignment, these are padding that hides a lack of thought. Force yourself to say what you mean, like you'd explain it to a friend. When you speak clearly, you think clearly. When you think clearly, you ship. Rule 2, prioritize essentials. Essentials are not what you like. Essentials are what moves the mission. Pick 1 mission for the next 30 days. Write it as a promise you could defend in a room full of your harshest users. We will reduce sign-up friction by half. We will launch the newsletter with 1,000 real subscribers. We will write the first draft of the book that's been haunting me. Then each evening, choose the 1 task for tomorrow morning that advances that promise. Not 20, 1. You can do other things later, but the first hour belongs to the essential. A trick I love, write the press release or the product page before you build. 1 page, headline, subhead, 3 bullets of concrete value, a quote from a fictional customer. If you can't write that page, you don't know the essential yet. If you can, your day just simplified. You have a North Star and a filter. Every idea that doesn't strengthen the page is a no. Rule 3, refine design. This is where the work gets its soul. Design is not veneer, it's choices that reduce friction. It's the courage to remove the almost right, even if you've already invested in it. Every morning, run a subtraction pass on what you made yesterday. Ask, what can I kill that will make the whole better? Then kill it. Feel the grief, then feel the clarity. Refine the design of your time, batch shallow work into tight windows. Protect deep work with a door that closes. Use simple tools. A timer is a design decision. A blank page is a design decision. A list with 3 items is a design decision. Stop fetishizing complexity in your workflow. The best setup is the one you actually use. Refine the design of your words. Words are interface. Rename features until they say what they do. Rename projects until the team smiles and nods. Rename your personal goals so they're exciting enough to pull you out of bed without caffeine. If a name makes you roll your eyes, it's wrong. Rule 4, repeat daily. This is the part most people skip. Simplicity is not a weekend cleanse, it's an operating system. You repeat the loop. Cut noise, prioritize essentials, refine design every day. You treat each pass like sanding a piece of wood. The first pass removes the roughness, the next brings the grain alive. The next makes it smooth to the touch. Small, consistent edits compound into elegance. Install one ritual to make repetition automatic. A nightly reset, 10 minutes. Write the one task you'll tackle at dawn. Put your tools where your future self can't miss them. Set your phone to airplane mode and exile it. Then, in the morning, honor the promise, no drama. No bargaining. Sit, work the one thing. Ship a tangible artifact. A decision, a paragraph, a mock-up, a commit. Name it. Put it somewhere you can see the streak. If you're nodding right now, if you feel the relief of a simpler path, then do something to show you mean it. If this idea resonates, if you believe in changing the status quo by doing less but better, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of rebels who think differently, who choose craft over chaos, and who will hold you to the standard of your best work. The iPod lesson. We cut until it sang. Let me tell you a story about ruthless simplicity. When we built the iPod, the world didn't need another gadget. It needed a clear promise. 1,000 songs in your pocket. That line did more work than 100 spec sheets. It said what the product was in human terms. It created a test. Does this decision make 1,000 songs in your pocket more true or less true? If it made it less true, even if it was clever, we said no. We cut features that looked good in meetings but felt bad in the hand. We cut knobs that complicated the experience. We cut the temptation to cram a radio, a recorder, an equalizer, labyrinth, things that made engineers happy and users tired. We kept subtracting until we reached the scroll wheel, a simple motion that felt like flicking through your music library with your thumb. It was not the most obvious solution at the start. It emerged when we removed what didn't belong. We obsessed over a few seconds of delight, how it woke from sleep, how it faded audio, how the type looked on a tiny screen. I cared about the font. I cared about the spacing. I cared about the way the device disappeared and the music remained. That care wasn't decoration. It was the difference between a tool you tolerate and a companion you love. There's a technique we use that you can steal. Write the billboard before you build the road. For iPod, it was 1,000 songs in your pocket. For iPhone, it was an iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator, one device. Once you have that billboard line, you have a machete. You can cut through the jungle of features that distract from the promise. If a feature doesn't make the billboard truer, it's gone. And listen, we didn't cut because we were lazy. We cut because we were ambitious. Simplicity is not the lack of ambition, it's the highest form of it. It says, we will make the essentials so good that it needs no apology. That's harder than shipping a checklist. A checklist can hide mediocrity, a single promise can't. It either sings or it doesn't. When I returned to Apple after being fired, the company had a product grid that looked like a crossword puzzle. Too many machines, too many names, too much confusion. We drew a simple 4-quadrant matrix on a whiteboard, consumer and pro, desktop and portable. 4 products. That edit hurt feelings. It also saved the company. Simplicity gave us focus. Focus gave us momentum. Momentum gave us our future back. You can do the same. Take your list of projects and draw your matrix. What's for novices and what's for experts? What's for mobility and what's for power? Pick the 4 you can do insanely great, kill the rest. Does that sound brutal? It is, but you are not running a rescue shelter for ideas. You are running a studio. In a studio, the work earns its place. The 30-day radical simplicity challenge. This is not theory. This is your next month. I'm giving you a playbook you can run starting tomorrow morning. If you actually do this, not think about it, not talk about it, you will feel different in a week, and your work will look different in a month. Week 1, Declutter inputs, declutter space. Day 1, digital fast. Move every app off your phone's first screen except phone, messages muted by default, camera, calendar, and notes. Delete what you haven't used in 90 days. Turn off all notifications, then turn on only the ones that would genuinely ruin your day if you missed them. Your attention is your most valuable product. Guard its launch window. Day 3-4, inbox reset. Create 3 email rules. 1, newsletters auto-label into a Read Later Friday folder. 2, CCs skip the inbox. 3 VIP lists for the 5 people whose messages can break through during work hours. Check email at 11:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Only after you've shipped something that matters. Earlier than that is theft. Day 5-6, physical purge. Clear your desk until it's almost empty. Keep 1 notebook, 1 pen, your machine, water, everything else goes in a box. If you don't miss an item in 7 days, it wasn't serving you, it was staging. Clean space, clean mind. It's a cliche because it's true. Day 7, calendar audit. Cancel or shrink recurring meetings that don't produce decisions. Replace status meetings with a weekly memo. Block 8-10 a.m. for deep work every weekday. That block is your sacred studio. Treat it like a board meeting with your future. Week 2, prioritize essentials. Ship daily. Day 8, write your 30-day promise. 1 sentence, concrete and measurable. Tape it where you'll see it when you wake. Tell someone you respect. Stakes clarify. Day 9-14, the one thing morning. Each night, write tomorrow's single task that advances the promise. Each morning, do it first. No inputs, no bargaining. Use a 60-minute timer. When it rings, name the artifact you produced, homepage copy V1, onboarding decision memo, user interview script, affix the names to a visible wall or a digital list. Watch momentum become visible. Momentum is addictive. Add a rule. If you get stuck for more than 5 minutes, you step aside and write the question that's blocking you in plain language. Then write the smallest action that would answer it. Often the answer is talk to a user or make a sketch or choose one option and test. Clarity comes from contact with reality, not from mental gymnastics. Week 3, refine design, raise taste. Day 15-16, subtraction pass. Review your last week's artifacts. For each, remove 1 element that complicates the experience. Kill a sentence, kill a setting, kill a step. Feel the fear that you're losing functionality. Then ask a real human, does it feel better now? 9 times out of 10 it will. Day 17, rename until it's obvious. Take every label, feature names, project names, menu items, and rename them so a bright 12-year-old could guess what they do. Clarity is not condescension, it's respect. The right name saves 1,000 tooltips. Day 18-19, the one-page test. Write the press release or product page for what you're making. Headline, subhead, 3 proof points, 1 quote from a fictional customer. If you can't do it, you don't understand it. If you can, show it to someone who doesn't love you. Watch their eyes. If they glaze over, simplify again. Day 20-21, taste sprint. Pick a product you admire outside your domain. Study it like a calligrapher studies letter forms. What are they doing with spacing, timing, language, pacing? Steal the principle, not the skin. Apply 1 improvement to your work. Document it. Before, after, with 1 sentence explaining the why. Taste improves with deliberate reps. Week 4, systematize, sustain, and scale. Day 22, build your morning manifest. 5 sentences that define how you run your first 2 hours. Example, no inputs before I ship. 1 essential task a day. Tools live where I can't miss them. Every artifact gets a name. I subtract before I add. Print it. Say it out loud. Hang at eye level. Day 23-24. Automate the boring. Identify 3 repetitive tasks and automate or templatize them. Email responses, file naming, meeting agendas, weekly reviews. Automation's not laziness. It's craftsmanship applied to time. Day 25, no day. Choose 1 project you've been nursing because it's familiar, not because it's essential. Kill it, announce it. Reclaim the energy. That space is oxygen for your best idea. Day 26-27, teach the framework. Share the 4 rules with a teammate or a friend. Offer to run a 30-minute session on radical simplicity. Teaching forces you to own the ideas. It also recruits allies who will protect your focus instead of poking holes in it. Day 28, health check. Simplicity that ignores your body is performative. Decide your default sleep window. Pick a daily movement you'll actually do: walking, yoga, push-ups. Keep it simple enough to stick. The mind works better on the back of a body that isn't constantly exhausted. Day 29, reflection. Read your named artifacts from the month. What patterns do you see? Where did your taste improve? What did you cut that you don't miss? Write 3 lessons and 2 rules you'll keep. Day 30, recommit. You are not done. You've installed a new operating system. Decide your next 30-day promise. The loop continues. Cut noise, prioritize essentials, refine design, repeat daily. This is how great work compounds. To keep yourself honest, adopt 3 small scripts. Script 1, the polite. No, I'm focused on one priority this month and can't take this on without breaking that promise. If it's still important next month, let's revisit. You're not rude, you're precise. Script 2, the decision test. What would make the billboard truer? Ask this in every meeting. It will shorten the meeting or reveal that you don't have a billboard. Script 3, the user voice. What would a real person thank me for in 60 seconds? If you can't answer, you're building for a slide deck, not a human. And one more thing, stay hungry and stay foolish, especially about subtracting. Hunger will keep you curious. Foolishness will keep you from worshiping complexity because it looks serious. The serious thing is the result in someone's hands. The serious thing is the life you get back when your days aren't eaten by noise. If this challenge lit a fire, if you can feel the relief of a life with fewer moving parts and more moving purpose, then show it. Subscribe to this channel. We're not collecting followers, we're building a workshop. Every week you'll get practical principles, less but better, that you can apply the same day. Join the people who refuse to settle for clutter. The close. Decide, then edit. Simplicity is not a fashion. It's a decision you remake every morning. It asks you to be brave enough to leave good ideas on the cutting room floor so great ideas can breathe. It asks you to stop auditioning for an audience that rewards noise and start performing for the person who matters. The user, your customer, and the future version of you who has to live with what you ship. When I look back, the moments I'm proudest of weren't the times we added something clever. They were the times we removed something comfortable. Dropping out wasn't glamorous, it was subtraction. Getting fired wasn't noble, it was subtraction. Both created space for something better. The same will be true for you. You do not need permission to start. You need the courage to stop. Tomorrow morning, don't open your inbox looking for identity. Don't scroll your feed looking for a reason. Sit down with a single sheet of paper. Write the one promise you're willing to keep for 30 days. Then, under it, the one action you'll take before the world wakes up. That is your dent in the universe, not a speech, not a dream, a single action that compounds. You already know what deserves to stay. You already know what needs to go. Simplicity is the art of acting on that knowledge. And the only moment you can act is this one. The journey doesn't end here. If you're committed to 30 days of radical simplicity, if you are tired of living under a pile of almosts and ready to build something insanely great, subscribe and press the like button to join the movement. Then close the tab, cut the noise, choose the essential, and go do something wonderful.